It's time for Recipe of the Day. Happy Mother's Day, and I am doing something a little bit different today in honor of my mom. I am actually playing an episode from the past that is about a recipe that my mom does not like, but the reason that it always makes me think of her is when she had these restaurants when I was growing up, her and my dad, she would always say that she loved every single thing that she served at the restaurants. All of these recipes that she was testing and developing, if they were going to be served to customers, she had to love them. The only exception was the honey dill sauce, because honey dill sauce is this thing where I'm from in Manitoba, where we're from, and it is always served with chicken fingers. And so you cannot get away in Manitoba with not having honey dill sauce on the menu. It has to be there. It has to come with those chicken tenders. So she would make her own from scratch, but she did not like it. And so she would have to get other people to taste it and make sure that it was right every time. So it was the only thing on her menus that she served, that she made, that she did not love. And I just always found that really funny. But it's also just such a truism about my mom that if you are eating her cooking, you know that it is delicious because she's an amazing cook and because she would not serve it to you if it wasn't spectacular. So now here is my episode about honey dill sauce, something that my mom does not like, but that she served anyways. Today is the day, my friend, where you hear about the best sauce for chicken tenders ever in the history of the world, or at least in the history of Manitoba, where I'm from. But I swear that it is my favorite dipping sauce for chicken, hands down, no matter where I am. I love this. It's just that if you are in Manitoba, Canada, you will get this sauce served with chicken fingers or chicken tenders wherever you have them. It is what comes with them by default, only in that small part of Manitoba. Although, I will tell you, my video for this sauce went viral on TikTok. It is at 1.2 million views right now. And it was seen and commented on by a lot of Canadians. And I have learned that while it seems to be quite true that it is a Manitoba staple and it originated in Manitoba at a restaurant called Mitzi's 40 years ago, it has bled a little bit into some surrounding areas, and you can get it in Saskatchewan, you get it in Northern Ontario, and rumor has it that there is a chain of chicken restaurants that has flourished in Canada since I left called Mary Brown's, and they say that they have this sauce on the menu as well. So it might be a little bit more widespread in Canada than I believed it to be, but this Manitoba girl still claims it as her own. This is a Manitoba favorite, and I promise you that if you make it, it's going to become your house's favorite dipping sauce as well. And yes, I did hear how I said house there. I am most definitely Canadian, even if I live in Florida. It's not going to go away anytime soon, right? So yes, this is the honey dill dipping sauce. That is the TikTok video that went viral, which was super crazy. I love the video because it is this sauce from my childhood, from my teen years, but also I ended up choosing a song to use on it that is by a Manitoba band called the Guess Who, and you probably know them. They have a song called American Woman. That is probably the most famous song that they had. But members of that band actually went to high school with my dad. At least one of them did. Burton Cummings for sure. And so this has just been something that's part of my life. The Guess Who, knowing who these people are, this music, and the song that I chose, These Eyes, just makes me feel so nostalgic and homesick in the best possible way. So every time that I watch this viral video of mine, I feel this extra pride and happiness because it really did come together so well and seems to have been very much appreciated by the Manitobans out there. There's just a lot of love happening for this video, and so it was just all really a great experience. And now it is time to tell you how to make honey dill sauce. I know there's been quite a preamble. I'm looking at my recording software and we're almost at the 3-minute point, and that's because I don't really have much to say about this other than the preamble, because it's the easiest recipe ever. It is 3/4 of a cup of mayonnaise, 1/4 of a cup of honey. In the video, I say liquid honey, which seems to have confused some people. That is because there is another kind of honey that is available, sometimes called creamed honey. You don't want to use that here because it's not going to mix in as well. So 3/4 of a cup of mayonnaise, 1/4 of a cup of your standard honey, which is liquid honey, and then 2 teaspoons of dried dill weed. You can use fresh. You would use a little bit more. I find it kind of clumps up in the sauce, and instead I like the dried dill. I just like to leave it in the fridge for about 20 to 30 minutes so that the dill gets a chance to hydrate and spread its flavor to the other ingredients, but I do find that it actually works better here. I almost never think that dried dill is better over fresh dill, but in this case I do. Now, those are the only necessary ingredients. You can add a little bit of lemon juice, you can add a little bit of garlic powder, you can add a pinch of salt, but really it is good with just those 3 things. You mix it all together, it's going to become almost like a translucent color. You don't expect it because there's so much mayonnaise compared to honey, but the honey kind of takes over, and then it just has beautiful sweetness, a little tang, and that wonderful dill flavor. So good. And this is a great sauce for your chicken fingers, chicken tenders, chicken nuggets, any kind of breaded chicken, any kind of non-breaded chicken. We did some chicken leg quarters this weekend in the oven with like crispy skin, and that was great dipped in there. And I will tell you, from my parents' restaurants, they made their own honey dill sauce. This was the recipe, and people loved dipping their potato wedges in there and also onion rings. And somebody even told me once that they like dipping their pierogies in there. I don't know. It's a thing for some people, I guess. I'm going to stick to the sour cream for mine. You can head to TikTok or Instagram. I am Cook the Story there, and you will see the video. It is the TikTok one that went viral and has all the comments. If you want to see all the love and the few controversies that sparked up about the location, the ingredients, a couple of other things, my lisp, people don't like the way I talk sometimes. I don't know. You can see that all on TikTok. I am Cook the Story there. Okay, and yeah, that was the honey dill sauce episode that I've replayed for you in honor of my mom for Mother's Day. If you want the link to this recipe, you could get it in the show notes for this podcast episode, or head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is May 11th of 2025. I am Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookville.com, the all-new chicken cookbook, and from this podcast recipe of the day. I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day. Let's get cooking.